Hi, everybody. It's Joe Chaffee here on this Saturday night. Hope you're enjoying a pretty good weekend. Kind of winding down from all the action with regards to Hurricane Matthew. And we are going to take a look and see what's going on here. Let me just switch the camera. It never seems to want to let me. I have to do it with my left hand for some reason and not with my right. Okay, so we'll look at the visible satellite picture. You can actually see the center right there as it moved off northeastern South Carolina, and then looks like it's moving on a course east-northeast, or maybe even straight east. Hard to say, but it is moving out. The center is, but we're way past the time where we're focusing our attention on the center. As we pointed out yesterday that one of the things that was happening was that we were making the gradual transition over from a purely tropical system to something more resembling a non-tropical or winter type system. And you can see that the rains are just continuing to pound most of the eastern third of North Carolina. Many areas have already received a foot of rain, and they're likely to get another 6 to 10 inches in some places. We also have tornado watches up for many of the northeastern and the eastern North Carolina counties, even extending up into southern Virginia. As all of this just keeps sweeping inland, you can actually pick out the center on the radar that's right here, and it's non-tropical in nature because it kind of looks like a comet head. Really, there's very little going on the east and southeast side of this. It's all now on the western side and on the northern side, including the winds. The strongest winds have shifted over to the west side. This is usually what happens when we get these tropical systems. And I could actually let's pull up the rainfall so far. It shows it up pretty well. So the reds are all 5 inches or more. So these are all storm totals. So you can see there's a large area in and around Fayetteville been hit very hard, but there are large areas of 5+ inches of rain and even some amounts approaching 8 inches or more. I'm sure you're going to see some locally higher amounts as well. So by the time they're all done, there's going to be a pretty large area of 1 foot plus rain. And when we look at the radar further north, up into Virginia, the rain has extended its way down into southern Delmarva. It really doesn't get much past southeastern Virginia, Washington, D.C. area, Charlottesville, Fredericksburg. You're all kind of on the edge of all this. So, and none of this rain is coming our way, by the way. I'll punch up the radar a little bit closer to us. So we do have some decent rain falling in central and southern New Jersey and up to about New York City. But when we go to the New York City radar, you'll notice that you go north and west of New York City throughout almost all of northern New Jersey, north of Route 78, there's nothing. And much of what's falling here in the lighter greens really is very light rain. Maybe some of the darker greens, it's slightly, let's call it less light. But on the whole, this area, the back edge of it is just right along the coast. So I think if you're north and west of New York City and in the Hudson Valley, as far as your Sunday's concerned, it looks pretty good. It may take a little while for the rain may still be around early tomorrow morning along coastal communities. It should move out, and then weather conditions will improve from there. So we'll take a look now at what the models are showing us with regards to Matthew, and you can see here what happens, and that's Nicole down at the bottom of the screen. Matthew actually at this point is just really a low pressure system, a low that's kind of merged with the cold front that's moving through, and then whatever remnant low is left winds up actually getting absorbed by Nicole, which sort of sits out there for a little while and then moves away to the northeast. We're going to have a pretty dry week. The next cold front is coming through late on Thursday, and you can see it up there. It's very weak. There's hardly any rain in it. And in fact, if we carry this model up through next weekend and into early next week, there's nothing through the middle part of the week of October 17th. And even then, it's nothing. It comes through weak, or at least that's what models are indicating at the moment. So we could be going into a fairly dry next 7 to 10 days, which would probably match up with the fact that October is the driest month of the year for us here. and coming on top of a drought, a drought pattern means that the prospects for rain just aren't there. So we're just going to continue to keep a watch on all that heavy rain that's going on in North Carolina. Again, some of that is edging up into Virginia. Then you have a little more rain that the front is enhancing down in through central New Jersey, but not much else after that. So I'm going to just hopefully, I'm trying to not be fat finger here and pull up the ban block button or whatever it is. So hello back to everyone who said hi, and let's see. Okay, Jonathan Sachs says, if this thing makes the predicted loop, you know what? It looks like now it's not going to do that. The GFS started this morning with the idea that it just wants to take it straight east as a non-tropical system, and that seems to be what it's going to do. And you know what? Even if it does wind up getting absorbed by Nicole, that's not going to be able to come here either because the upper air pattern's all wrong. Yeah, Dominic, not a drop of rain in Sussex County. Not a surprise. Let's see. No, Mark, lightning's not rare and hurricanes not at all. Neither are tornadoes, and this is a situation where tornadoes could be a possibility in North Carolina. And by the way, this is probably a good example I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures that have come out of Florida and also up out of the Carolinas. With regards to Florida's concern, the eye of the storm never actually penetrated land. It kind of bounced off the coast a couple of times. Just from that, there was considerable wind damage in northeastern Florida, especially. Plus the fact that the tidal surge was exceptional. So this is why you can't really just focus on where the eye is going to go in, and also with regards to how people handle these kinds of storms when they wonder whether they should evacuate or not. I've always said to the answer to the question when people criticize the fact that they didn't get the big hit that they were expecting, and I'm sorry, I'm left with saying, well, I apologize that you didn't get the disaster you were hoping for. This is not the kind of thing that you sort of sit around and wish for, and it's a very, very difficult thing to forecast, to be able to thread a needle like on a hurricane, which literally, if it was 15 or 20 miles further west, the wind destruction up and down the Florida coast would have been amazing and exceptional. I mean, it would have been quite a bit. So, bear that in mind when you have situations like this where you have to make, decisions regarding what to do, and always heed the advice of local officials as far as that goes. And, now we've seen the transformation away from the wind to the devastating heavy rains that are occurring in inland spots. That's my cat, by the way, who's very friendly. He likes to be on camera. So, and my dog Cody's asleep because he's old. He's almost 13 years old, and he likes to sleep a lot. So anyway, just have a great night and enjoy your Sunday. There's a lot of things going on tomorrow. Columbus Day Parade. I'm actually Grand Marshal of the Columbus Day Parade in Huntington tomorrow on Long Island. So if you're in the neighborhood and you're out there, hope to see you there. And otherwise, enjoy your Sunday.